Hello, everybody. Hello. Let's see what's happening, guys. Hope you're all well. Good afternoon. Happy Saturday. The Arsenal game kicks off in like 90 minutes. So I got like 90 minutes to stream this afternoon. I'm going to... one of my channel members sent me 15. I think it's 15. One of my channel members sent me 15 of these. Look at these. How do I get them there? These are 3D printed Primaris jump packs. How nice, right? How nice. So Bainesy, if you are in the chat today, thank you so much. You are a superstar. So I get 15 more Primaris jump packs. So I was thinking maybe I could do someone and see how they fit on. So that's very nice. Because I've got lots of assault intercessors, but I also, if you've been watching my videos this week, I've kind of gone hard on the Gravis Marines, right? It is very early. But like these Gravis Marines, man. Gravis Marines. They're so good. So I've had Strike Force Augustus for the longest time and really hadn't bothered with it. But you know what, we're going to bounce around a little bit. It's a bit of an ad hoc afternoon. If you've got a hobby knife and pen at home, get your hobby knife out. Let's do some hobby for an hour. Nice to see you. Maybe have a bit of a chat. Afternoon, brothers. Andrew's writing his Gravis list right now. I was going to say, I obviously had the Gravis list at the tournament, and I was honestly quite a bit nervous about running the Gravis list at the event, because it was my first event in 10th edition. Because it was my first event in 10th edition, I was really not feeling confident just in general. But I'll tell you, Gravis Marines, yeah, I don't know. It's like I've got a love affair with Gravis Marines now, I think. I rate them much more highly than I rated them last edition. That's for hella sure. And I'm just gonna say, I don't know if I would run a list with 10 heavy interceptors, 10 heavy intercessors. Sorry, not interceptors. But I am building, like, I think to myself, what I want to build right now is more jump intercessors and more heavy intercessors. Because it's good to have options, right? Options are the way to win 40k games, I guess. So, Pandaman Pete. Good afternoon. I want to build some Death Company out of the jump intercessors. Need to find some Power Fists and Infernal Pistols. Your probably best bet is then to buy the Firstborn Death Company kit, man, because it comes with a lot of good stuff, that Firstborn Death Company kit. The Firstborn Death Company kit probably because they discontinued the Tactical Squad, it's probably the best way to get like more Blood Angels, shoulder pads and things like that. If I remember, the Heavy Intercessors though have horrific mold lines on them, so I'm a little bit... I feel like I'm not going to enjoy this process because I feel like there's going to be a lot of mold lines. B61, B64. Probably in the base. That's a base. Let's get them on the base. B61, B64, B19, B61, B64. But yeah, I think, I don't know what it is about heavy intercessors. I think they're just not susceptible in any way, shape or form to small arms fire. And I think that's what makes them strong. And obviously I did a video 2 weeks ago on heavy interceptors, but I keep calling it interceptors, inceptors. They're called heavy intercessors. My fault. But yeah, no, heavy intercessors, the more I use them, the more I just think that like maybe my list should just have 2 squads of them. Because they just hang around so much better than toughness 4 Marines. And I don't think 1 inch of movement, because their guns are assault, I don't think it matters. Just like, well, the guns are assault, so you get to, whenever you advance, you get to roll an assault. You know, whenever you want to move, you just assault, because there's no penalty to advance. It's not like you're -1 to hit now. Is the background music too loud? It could be. Let me turn it down, sorry. I usually have it about 15, yeah, I think it was way too loud. The mode lines suck, that's the way in a lot in the new kits. Yeah, I've found that a few of the new kits have been pretty aggressively bad with mode lines. The jump interceptors and also why have they made everything begin with I? Inceptors, infiltrators, incursors, intercessors. There's too many that begin with I. They're just trying to make it difficult. They're just trying to make my life difficult. Afternoon, Campbell. Killer, what's happening? Good afternoon. Oh, you're welcome, no problem. I should have turned the music down. To your comments on horror blocking, it's quite meta. Yeah, I should have probably used a clock against the Imperial Guard player. I think he would have run out of time. But here's the thing, I'm not that sort of player, right? Like, I go to events, I like to do well, I would like to win, but I don't know if I want to push it hard enough to be like, haha, you have no time left, you can't do anything. I don't know if I'm that player. I suppose I should have. But I didn't. I guess if you play me at an event, you'll find out that I'm a very reasonable human being. I feel like at Warhammer tournaments, treat others like you want to be treated yourself is possibly the best motto or the best thing. So if I had a big army with lots of models and it's going to take me a few extra minutes, would I like it if my opponent put me on a clock? Probably not. So I guess I should have. If I'd been 100% desperate to win, I guess I could have put my opponent on a clock. Cambo says Impulsor. You working on an Impulsor? Do you know what? I actually need to finish painting my Impulsor. I was thinking about doing a Combat Patrol game. Not that I like the Blood Angels Combat Patrol all that much, but the only thing that I've got from the Combat Patrol that isn't fully painted, I guess, would be the only thing I've got that was not fully painted would be the Impulsor. So if I painted the Impulsor, we could do like a really cinematic Combat Patrol style game, which I think would be pretty cool. Just relaxing a tad, looking at the Stormraven gunship, because it looks massive. It's not as big as you might think it is. I don't know if it's that much bigger than a Land Raider. I mean, I've got one. It's not that. The Stormraven gunship isn't that massive. Flyers don't really get much play in 10th, do they? Has anyone been playing a Stormraven in 10th? Does anyone actually think it's good? Yeah, I did. I charged them all the time. The amount of times he actually had to fall back and couldn't shoot Buffalo Bill was probably... Or Blood Buffalo, sorry. I don't know why Buffalo Bill... Was that the name of a movie or something? The times that he had to fall back and shoot were the bit, like I was charging him with everything. I was charging him with Vindicator tanks, I was charging him with Death Companies, I was charging him with Eradicators. I knew that I knew he had no way to fall back and shoot. The problem is he's still able to fall back onto an objective with like OC 40, which is kind of an obnoxious amount of OC. Have I ever created a video on how to paint Blood Angels? I've done videos on painting the Sanguinary Guard. That's probably the best tutorial video I've done in terms of painting, is the Sanguinary Guard video. I have been meaning, I've been meaning for a while. This is a heavy intercessor, Crispy Delicious. But I've got some someone 3D printed some jump intercessor jetpacks for me. One of the channel members, Bainesy. So these look amazing. So I was going to try and make some of them, but I'm making more heavy intercessors because I only have 5 heavy intercessors. And I've only probably used them in like 6 or 7 games now, but the more I use them, the more I'm just like, these are the best troop choice that you can have, I think, in 10th. Or at least they maybe fit my playstyle the most, so. Heavy intercessors, morning Resil, afternoon. Yeah, so I haven't actually done a video on painting like just like a regular intercessor. It's on my to-do list for the channel. My problem, I guess, is that like finding time to do that. The only time I can do it is when I'm on vacation from work. I only get like 5 vacation weeks a year or something, so but I have really been meaning to do it. It will come out probably next year. I can commit to it. I mean, I would have liked it out this year. I'd have liked to get my Commander Dante video painted out this year, but like, because Dante's rules are so bad, I just sort of completely stopped painting him. So I think the camera that's right in front of me has like half a Commander Dante video filmed on it from like 6 months ago. It's so long ago that I'm gonna have to go back and watch what I filmed to figure out how to finish the video. Because I was making a how I paint Commander Dante video. The mold lines on these guns are horrific, by the way. Like a big giant mold line right down the gun. Crispy's thinking of making the second unit of heavy intercessors. Yeah, I think it's worth it, man. If there's a Librarian Dreadnought kicking around, then the any weakness the heavy intercessors have is instantly removed. And it's very nice to just put a toughness 6. 50, just put toughness 6, 15 wounds on a side field objective in cover, probably with the potential to get +1 to their save against 1 damage weaponry. Like it's a lot that the opponent might need to chew through for the hit. My regular intercessors would just die to indirect fire and stuff like that. Like, you know, like if you play against Tau, they have smart missiles. They have millions of them. If you play against Chaos Knights, every single unit has indirect fire, strength 5. It doesn't sound like much, but if he's got 12 knights on the table, that's 12d6 plus blast, strength 5, no AP. That'll kill 10 that'll kill a whole unit of regular intercessors. Because each knight's averaging 4 shots, so you're going to get 44 shots hitting on 2s or 3s, or maybe it's 3s because you can't see you. So potentially you're going to have to make like 23 up saves. So you're probably going to lose a whole unit of intercessors. I mean, I did. I lost a whole unit of intercessors turn 1 against the indirect fire from Chaos Knights. And then for the rest of the game, he shot them at the heavy intercessors, and the heavy intercessors are like chilling with like 4 guys left or something. Like they're not dying to indirect fire strength 5 at all. The guys at Lookout Sir were raving about the Stormraven. I don't see it, man. I mean, I've looked at the Stormraven's profile. I don't see why it's good. Well, yeah, I mean, you don't have to teleport them, I suppose, Rez, but if it's an option, I feel like it's not a bad option. So I think these must be their own bases. Because I think the heavy intercessors must have bases that don't have any cutouts, you know, like this. I need bases like this without without holes for feet. Oh, I've got some. Okay, I've got some. Hey, folk, good afternoon. How was? Did everybody watch the video I did yesterday about the tournament? What did you guys think? If tomorrow, if you had to go to a tournament running the list I ran, how would you feel about it? Because it felt way better than I was expecting it to, honestly. And I still have never beaten Gav, but I'm sure in that final game, Gav was a little bit worried because a single 2-up roll would have scored me 9 more victory points. And I mean, Gav is very methodical, and like he would have known from looking at the board that that was an option for me to get like 9 more victory points. So I feel like Yeah, I feel like I want to make a tweak to the list. I can tell you right now what because I've already tweaked it. So I feel like I've got a small tweak to that Gladius list, and I already know when the next GT in town is. It's like 4. No, not 4, because it's December. So it's basically 3 months today. So 3 months away, because December, January, February. December, January, February. Yeah, it's like 3 months and a week. So like 13 weeks from now, there's another GT in town. I haven't bought a ticket yet. But I'm thinking, like, keep 80% of this Gladius list the same. And hit another GT up with, like, a couple of optimizations. I think I really want to do it. I think it'll be very cool. Did I go first in the game against Guard? I did not go first. I don't know if that would have helped me. It might have let me get a few more models onto objectives before he swarmed the entire board, I guess. The Krieg were the biggest problem against the Guard, I feel like, because the Krieg, they can get like a 3-up save, those Krieg, and then they can get a 5-up Feel No Pain. So, like, actually dropping Krieg models is much more difficult than you might think it's going to be. At least that was my experience. Because, like, a bunch of times they passed a shitload of Feel No Pains. And the fact they've got a 3-up save is... And their cover, the Guard's cover stacks with regular cover. So you've got, like, Guardsmen who are getting, like, double cover bonuses. It's pretty good. I think you just need to have fun at tournaments, not put pressure on. Yeah, I was having fun day one when I went 3-0, but then I put pressure on myself, I guess, when I get into that situation of where I'm playing those really top players, and I know I'm playing those really top players, and I know if I beat those really top players, then I'll have a really, like, high-rated win tournament performance or something, right? That's fine. I'm not too worried about it. I think it was, for me personally, it was really good to get back into the swing of being at a tournament, and yeah, I mean, I've been, because I have a 1-year-old kid, I've just been to a lot less tournaments this last year than I would normally go to, I guess, and I mean that's just because the age of the kids, right? Oh, I'll put my phone aside. Sorry. I'm gonna put a Deathwatch shoulder pad on this heavy intercessor, because while he is in the Blood Angels, I'm gonna declare that he was previously in the Deathwatch. I bought one Deathwatch upgrade sprue for precisely this situation, so I can do cool stuff like that and be like, this heavy intercessor is part of the Deathwatch. I think I would do better playing against the Imperial Guard again as well. I mean, it's always hard at a tournament when you're playing a faction or an army that you have very little practice or reps against. So, yeah, I literally had no practice against anything. I was going to say, I don't know if I really had any practice against Horde lists this edition. Like, I haven't even played Orcs this edition yet. After going to the tournament and playing like 3 or 4 different factions, I feel like I'm now at a point where I've played probably half of the armies this edition. Like, I've not played Drukhari, I've not played Genestealer cults. I suppose there's a bunch of Space Marine chapters I haven't played, but I feel like I would probably do okay against Space Marine chapters because I kind of know what to expect. What else have we not played? So I've played World Eaters and I've played Chaos Demons. You know what? I've not played like generic CSM. I've still not played Thousand Suns. There was a Thousand Sun player that did pretty well at the event I was at, actually. So yeah, hopefully if I go to another event like in March, get like 5 more games against armies I've not played, then at least I'm starting to feel like, okay, I've played a bunch of the armies. I kind of know what should I expect. The guard want to die. Yeah, the guard just want to flood the objectives. I've just never. That was them. The fact that they could come back every turn was horrific. My new list is a way to counter that. So I feel like if I play that guard list again, while I might lose, I think I'll do better. But then I was only like 10 points away. So I feel like my strategy against guard was fine. I'll do better next time. Stephen, how's it going yourself, man? Good afternoon. What's good, brother? I'm gonna try and get a game on Wednesday night this week as well. Get the battle show going for the channel again, and I think I probably need to buy some base extenders to get my scouts. We're convinced that new scouts are going to be on 20.5 bases, right? I don't think I'm going to buy the new scouts. I'm just going to buy base extenders. It should have still been 2 CP to bring back the unit. You can't Vox with a destroyed unit. You can't use your you can't use that 5+ to gain the command points back. Is that right, Terrence? Because he did that every single time. He did that 4 times in the game. What rule says that you can't do that? Interesting. Oh well, mistakes can be made. I hate unhelmeted helms on heavy intercessors, by the way. My heavy intercessors are not having unhelmeted heads. They're most definitely wearing helmets. I wonder if there's some Blood Angel helmet. Hey, Great Angel, how are you, dude? Todd says, "Goon showing at the tournament." Thank you. I would like to do. It would have been so nice to finish top 3. It would have been like the cherry on the top. But hey, Todd, there's always next time. I'll try again. I think the thing that the tournament showed me was like, because I was going to it going like, am I mad taking 20+ Gravis Marines for Blood Angels? And I think that was what was giving me like second thoughts in my head. I was like, this is wrong. Like like this is not the list I should be doing. Something's wrong. I need, but I guess the fact that we got so close, literally a single dice roll away from finishing top 3. And then when you talk about finishing top 3, if my list was a bit more optimized to score points in the other game, it could have been top 2, I suppose. So, yeah, I feel like the tournament showed me that my plan around using Gravis Marines is fine. So probably what's going to happen is, thinking off the top of my head, my list is going to be purely Gravis, except Death Company and Chaplains. I might run more Death Company, I might run more Chaplains, but everything else is going to be Gravis. I'm not going to have any. So basically, the only 2 wound toughness 4 models I have are the Death Company that have Feel No Pains. So just because I don't rate, I guess toughness 4 Marines with 2 wounds, I just don't rate them at all. There's a cool head for the heavy intercessors with half his skin missing. Oh, I didn't see that one. I'm not very good at painting helmets though, or faces. Faces are like my nemesis. Yeah, faces are probably the thing I struggle the most with painting. Everything else I'm pretty good at now, or I feel like I'm pretty confident now. I guess it's because I don't like painting the helmets, or the faces. I get no practice at it, and then I don't do it, and then because I get no practice, I just feel bad. Todd says it's clear I'm on the right track. I've been taking notes. I'm glad to hear it. It would be great if some other people came out with similar Blood Angels lists and do really well. That would be very cool. Frank, afternoon. Yeah, I'll get... I do want to get the Commander Dante video done. Just, it's probably going to be into early next year because I'm going to take a... I'm not going to take a holiday over the Christmas period from the channel. Like, I will do some things, but I'm not going to make my weekly tactics videos for like 2 weeks. I did that last year. Good time for me to recharge and get quality time with the family and stuff like that, so... Alright, look, that's a Deathwatch. This guy, a Deathwatch Heavy Intercessor. Those Deathwatch shoulder pads, which you get 2 of in the sprue, they fit over those Heavy Intercessor arms damn near perfect. So if you wanted to have a Deathwatch Heavy Intercessor for your Blood Angels army, boom, job done. Easy. It's a firstborn upgrade sprue. The Deathwatch never got Primaris. Yes, but it does have Terminator shoulder pads on them. And I also used those Terminator shoulder pads on Blade Guard, Robert. And again, they work perfect. So it is the firstborn Deathwatch upgrade sprue. But the Terminator shoulder pads will work perfect for that, I guess. Does that make sense? I think it makes sense. Did I bring any water up here? Yeah, okay, cool. Evening, Eternal Crusader, how are you? He's been thinking about making a Blood Angels list for the last 24 hours. Why not, dude? If you've got the models, why not? Bummer. Do you know what, Blood Buffalo? I was going to say, if you've watched every single podcast and stuff that I've ever done, then I appreciate it, man. I really do. But I mean, there is a lot of back on. I'm sure there's. If you look through the playlists on YouTube, I'm sure there's a few videos you've missed here or there. You're a mailman in Buffalo. Buffalo's Texas, right? Do you This could be very naive, but do you even get bad winters in Texas? Because you're very far south in Texas, right? Or have I got states mixed up? I feel like Buffalo's Texas. Oh, Buffalo's New York. Oh, right. Okay, then yeah. Fuck, you get really bad winters in New York because Scotland's actually a very similar latitude to New York, believe it or not. Alright, let's see if we can make a heavy, let's see if we can take an Assault Intercessor from the Leviathan box set. Yeah. Leviathan. No, not Leviathan. What was this one called? Indomitus. Take an Indomitus model. Got some bases. Yeah. Do these guys have this stupid bit that sticks into their foot? They do, okay. So I need a base with a hole in it. Ah, here's one. Okay. So let's see if we can take an Indomitus Assault Intercessor and make him into a Jump Intercessor with this 3D printed jump pack. And then, do you know what? We'll put them side by side because I've got some Jump Intercessors that I bought. I guess I'll just make one with a chainsword to start with, maybe. Yeah, why not? A simple guy with a chainsword. I don't have any instructions for these. Do I have instructions? Yeah, God knows where the instructions are, so I guess I'm just going to wing it. I'm going to try and cut off numbers that are close together. Well, that's going to be fun. I was going to say 34, 29, 28. Yeah, let's try that. That'll be close. I've been delivering packages in minus 30 degrees and 7 feet of snow. Jeez, oh man. Do you drive then? Do you drive in that weather or do you walk? Serve Song! Good afternoon, how are you, brother? Oh, it's Thanksgiving. Happy Thanksgiving, guys. I don't really know what Thanksgiving holiday is for. Like, is it's just a holiday to be thankful for things? I mean, that's a good reason. It's good to be thankful for things that you've got going on in your life. Life's too short, life's too precious, trust me. Alright, so I guess this guy will have a heavy bolt pistol and a chainsword. Or he could have a plasma pistol. You're allowed some plasma pistols. Yeah, let's do a plasma pistol, because why not? And the Assault Intercessor has the bionic plasma pistol arm. So we'll do that. It's for turkey and stuffing? Fair enough. Good afternoon. I mean, here in the UK, I don't know if we need an excuse to just eat generally turkey and stuffing. You know, just if you want to have turkey and stuffing, do it. Do it. Alright, let's see how we can jerry-rig this little conversion together. Oh, you sent me instructions on Discord? Oh, man, thank you. I'm gonna wing it. It's fine. As long as the two body parts go together, I feel like I can make the legs and arms work well enough. Oh, Thanksgiving's like thankful for the harvest and stuff. Going into winter. That makes sense. Okay. Yeah, cool. It's an older holiday. Yeah, we don't do Thanksgiving over here in the UK. We have adopted your Black Friday though. I went out today to see if there's any sales, but I didn't buy anything. But there is, like, if you were wanting a new TV or something, now would be the time to buy it. There's always sales on tech and stuff here in the UK now. We never used to get Black Friday. But I guess it got so out of control in America that retailers over here were like, yeah, let's get some of that action. Order Christmas present for the wife. That's a good idea. Yeah, buy Christmas presents and when everything's 20% off. I never even thought of that. It's so close to Christmas, actually, isn't it? I should just do that every year, like not buy any Christmas presents until Black Friday and then try and buy them all. Probably save like $150 every year. Juan, look at that. How helpful you've been this afternoon. What varnish to use? I always fuck up my models with brush on. I use the Games Workshop, what's it called, like munitionary varnish. I can show you the can if you want to see it. Hold on. I get the can. I like the Games Workshop varnish. I think it's one of the best products Games Workshop do, probably. It's super easy to use. What's it called? I've got it right here. This one. Use this. Minotaurium varnish. Like, there's nothing to it. You literally spray it for a couple of minutes. I've started using this though for my spray. I don't use the Games Workshop spray anymore. I start using Color Forge. The stuff seems pretty decent and it's cheaper than Games Workshop and the cans are bigger. So I've started using that. But the Games Workshop varnish, I've used that now for a few years. It's absolutely good. There's also sales coming up Monday. Yeah, there's like sales all weekend. My wife said that she had 200 emails on Friday. She was like, I'd forgotten it was Black Friday, but I knew when I opened up my email and had 200 emails. I was like, holy damn. You do too much shopping, woman. Yeah, the Games Workshop varnish, I'm trying to think. Humidity is the most important thing, I think, when you're varnishing. So I always use like Google. I'll show you what I do. This might look a bit weird for a minute because you're going to see like what I see on my monitor when I stream. But like I go to Google. And then what you can do in Google is you can just type in weather. And when you click on the weather at any given time, notice here it'll tell you the humidity. And like when you're varnishing, I think the highest you ever want to varnish in is like 70% humidity. So like at this time of year, like varnishing is just not going to work. If you varnish in higher humidity, that's when your models go. I think that's when they get like that sort of white sheen to them when they've been varnished and the humidity is too high. So I use Google like that, and you can look like 10 days in advance. So I'll look for like a day where there's like really low humidity, like low 60s, because I think if it's low 60s, like it never fucks up. Like the varnish just always takes really well. So I'll look like days in advance, find a day that's like low 60s, and then set an alarm on my phone. And then like if I'm coming home from work or something, I'll come home from work and the first thing I'll do is be like, hey, do you mind if, like to my wife, do you mind if I varnish a couple of models before dinner or something like that? Because it doesn't take long. It takes like 30 seconds. You literally put the model down, you go like spray across once, spin it around the back, spray it across once. Like it's that quick with that Mentorian varnish. Like it's perfect and it's super quick. Temperature does matter apparently. You don't want to varnish in the cold. I mean, I've varnished in Scotland when it's really cold. I've just always watched for the humidity. But yeah, the trick you can do with a spray can is you can put your spray can into when you're spraying in the winter, you can put your spray can into a basin of warm water for like 10 minutes before you spray to like heat up the spray can. I don't know if you should or shouldn't do that with varnish, but if you do the varnishing when the humidity is right, it always seems to work pretty well for me, I feel like. Can this arm even go on this model? No. Can this shoulder, can this one even go on this model? Oh, this one can go on, okay. Maybe. Yeah. So, if you use that GW varnish, search in advance for low humidity, you should be good. Humidity has fogged up my Minotaurium. Yeah, I mean, if the humidity is too high, it will fog up. That's kind of the... I think that's kind of the drawback. If you varnish when the humidity is not right, you will end up fogging up your models a little bit. But the Games Workshop one seems to work well with all the colours I use, like red, black and gold. It seems fine with all of them. It's the Sergeant, so the sword points straight up. Oh, I was going to say, Robert, you're trying to keep me right and I'm just winging it. Look at this jump pack though. This jump pack looks like it's going to be legit, honestly. Oh, he's fallen out of his base. Great. How'd that even happen? Right, I need to let this guy dry on this base for a minute before I keep fucking with him. I have used air source cold, but you're playing Russian roulette. Fair enough. Fair enough. Probably. So look for like, I don't know, 10 degrees Celsius minimum, and look for 10 degrees Celsius and decent humidity, I would guess. I already have a bunch of assault intercessors finished, so I don't see any reason to not just make these guys as jump intercessors. Plus I have all the assault intercessors finished and I don't run any of them, right? Like, I just don't really see... I don't see really a use in 10th edition for assault intercessors. Like, not without jump packs, not with Mephiston. I do feel a little bit sad that I'm not running Mephiston this edition, because, you know, like, Mephiston and Dante both got big updates, which you would think is, like, cool for Blood Angels, but, like, I just don't really... I can't find the strength in their models to run them to an event or whatever. Try not to dwell on that, because it just makes me upset. But yeah, I think I'd like to run a list with 10 heavy intercessors, I think. I think that... I don't know if I'm necessarily plowing on to do that. Like, I'm not sure I'm like, I desperately want to do this. But I think it would be quite fun, and I think it would be quite strong. Just because they take so much more to shift than T4 Marines. I wonder what our Codex model will be. Good question. I doubt it'll be Tycho. I think maybe it'll be, you know what would be cool would be if it was the Sanguinor, and like the Sanguinor is no longer our Marine. He's like he's not a Primarch, but he's like he's something in between. You know, like he's a big chunky character with like toughness 8 and 10 wounds or something. He's like a greater demon equivalent. The Sanguinor. That's what I want. If you ask me what I want, that's it. That's what I want. I guess I'm going to do this guy with the heavy bolter. I think. B21. The Necrons lost 3 units. Which 3 units did the Necrons lose? New Death Company and Kill Team. I mean, Valrak. I mean, I love Valrak, but he does hint on a lot of things. And Assault Intercessors are better model than Infernus Marines. Yeah, okay, I don't disagree with that. I don't see any... I haven't even taken... I've got 2 squads of Infernus Marines. I think 2 10-man squads. I haven't even taken them off the sprue. I'm not even remotely thinking about taking them off the sprue. I'm like, what on earth am I using Infernus Marines for? You think we'll lose Vanguard Veterans? No, because they were in the Space Marine Codex, right? Anything that was in the Space Marine Codex, I guess, is good until the end of the edition, probably. I mean, I don't think we'll get any new weapon options or anything exciting for Vanguard Veterans, so... If you think a Storm Shield and an heirloom weapon is exciting, then great. But I think Vanguard Veterans are probably... They'll last the edition, but I don't know if they'll last another edition. I was going to say, lots and lots of mold lines on these heavy intercessors, isn't it? Terrence says he thinks we'll get Sanguinary Guard. I mean, there could be a good argument for Sanguinary Guard. Like, Games Workshop are not dumb. They're going to know that Sanguinary Guard will sell models. So Primaris Sanguinary Guard to go with Primaris Dante. If they do that, though, please, for the love of God, like, if you look at Azrael's rules and look how many points Azrael is, and then you look at Dante and look how many points he is, Azrael is so much better. And yes, you could argue that, like, well, Dante has a jump pack. But jump pack doesn't make up for the fact that Azrael is just so much better, I feel like. Like, if I could run Azrael on my Blood Angels list, I would run him, because I think his low movement, it doesn't really matter. Everything else he does is amazing. Yeah, I don't know if you'd see jump packs in Kill Team. Might be a little bit broken, you're right. Dante should generate CP, he's Reagent of, or like he's Lord of half the galaxy. Yeah, there's no reason he shouldn't generate CP, same as like Azrael. Especially if he's going to be more expensive in points. Azrael has a better gun, Azrael has better buffs. I think Azrael even has a better melee weapon. Just everything is about him. And then of course he generates like a 5 CP over the course of the game, which is really tasty. Has anyone kit bashed the Sanguinary Order Death Company with Assault Intercessors? I'm sure people have done it on the Facebook page, Killer. 100%. People have probably done it in the Discord room as well, 100%. People are always kit bashing the new model, or like, people are always kit bashing our most popular units, like the Sanguinary Guard and Death Company into Primaris, because people think that that's what's going to happen next. So they want to be like a step ahead, right? Dante is paying of the crime of having a jump pack. Yeah, I mean the crime is amazingly bad, because like Dante is, I don't know, man. I don't like it. I don't like it one bit. Yeah, it is a shame about the Infernus Marines. I don't know. I don't honestly see. I think it's because they got no AP. I think. Imagine if Infernus Marines had been given 1 AP. Now I think they could actually be killer. Because there's ways to boost AP, and Flamers typically ignore cover, right? So like if they'd been given some AP, I think the Infernus Marines, if they had some AP to start with, because there's various ways in the various detachments to get AP, I guess. I think they could have actually been insane, but because they're no AP, I think they're not exciting at all. I don't think they would have needed a lot. I think 1 AP would have been all they needed. Rezio likes Infernus Marines. Fair enough. I don't. I can't see any reason to take them in a tournament list. I think I've made my tournament list like 10 or 20% stronger, honestly, from I've started breaking down the battles that I did, you know, so I can make videos on them. And I honestly think my new list is going to be 10 or 20% stronger. So like, I've got to finish top 5 at a tournament with a new list. Hot take is the Sangrunner is going to be the centerpiece Blood Angels model. I mean, I'm ready, Marcus. I'm ready for that. Show me the money. Show me the money. Run the Redeemer? I don't have a Redeemer. It's like the one Land Raider I don't have. I've got the Crusader, which I don't really like anymore, and the regular Land Raider. I think if you want to run a Thunderstrike, then the Redeemer would be really good. But I'm not a Thunderstrike player. Even though I actually do own the Thunderstrike, I'm not sure. I think the thing with the Thunderstrike is it's like 150 points for a buff. And at that point, I'm like, 150 points feels like a lot of points for a single buff. The Crusader comes with the Redeemer parts. I mean, if it did, I mean, I bought my Land Raider Crusader in like probably the 90s, dude. So, I mean, those parts have long been lost to the void, or maybe the warp would have been a better word to use there. But yeah, those parts are long gone. John, maybe I've got some spare Ball Predator Sponson Flamers. Like, you know, I possibly could find those. You may as well convert it, right? Because there is no such thing as an Achilles anymore for 40k. Can you make Infernus from 30k models? Tactical squad plus special weapon sprues 10. I mean, you could, but I don't know why you'd want to, because I honestly think Infernus are kind of garbage. Maybe they're good for Salamanders or something. I think they're kind of garbage for Blood Angels. Thunderstrike can kind of do cute damage by itself. Yeah, I mean, it's got like a 3 missiles, each doing d6 damage. Yeah, I mean, you're right, it can do cute damage. It's also very maneuverable, I guess. I just don't know about it. I ran it a little bit right at the start of 10th, and it's not like I disliked it. I just don't know. I just don't know. I never thought I'd be using heavy intercessors either. I just sort of bought them because I typically buy every new Space Marine kit, you know? I think I have every single Space Marine kit, just all of them. Oh shit, have I done the wrong back here? Oh no, weird. Felt like it didn't want to fit in there. Yeah, it's like 1 missile at strength 12 and then 2 missiles at strength 9, I guess. It's not too bad. Apparently I need coffee, man. I wasn't even up late last night. I went to bed early, angry because my computer was being funny. You could try 2 or 3 whirlwinds. Yeah, I've seen some people running 3 whirlwinds as well. Indirect fire isn't as bad as... I suppose you could storm of fire the whirlwinds as well, so that they would be -2, no cover. -2, no cover is not bad, right? 2 damage each, yeah? Strength 8. Your list would have plenty of scoring. It fits nicely with +1 to wound. I mean, I know it fits nicely with +1 to wound, but it's all about having that balance, I guess. I might try. I mean, I've got a Thunderstrike, and it's in a playable state, so I mean, I can use the Thunderstrike for a game. But yeah, I felt like one of the big things that from the event was like the Death Company of the Chaplain did much better than I expected. I think the constant +1 to wound on the Death Company of the Chaplain is worth its weight in gold. And a 5 Death Company of the Chaplain is like 19 Power Fists. So 19 Power Fists with +1 to wound and rerolls to hit is actually kind of like pretty decent for damage output. Against anything that isn't a tank, you're probably wounding on 2s, and then against tanks, you're probably wounding on 4s, right? I'm gonna have to let that dry and then fix the mold line on that guy's leg. Like, oh, mold lines. It's horrific. I'm looking forward to any Terminator changes. Yeah, I mean, I think Terminators need changes. Because I've tried them multiple times and I really don't rate any of the Terminators that we have at the moment. Be it Firstborn or be it... well, I guess they're not called Firstborn anymore, but you know what I'm saying. The original Terminators, the Assault Terminators, they just don't seem like they do enough for the points you spend on them. They survive, they set on an objective, but I'm not sure that's enough to justify their points costs. I disagree about not liking 10-man Death Company. It's too hard to hide them. There's too much blast weaponry. I mean, if you fight against Tau, you'll just get killed by death from 1,000 cuts, Reziel. I don't know, I haven't found a way to make 10-man units work in 10th edition yet. Yeah, I feel the same, Seraph Song. They can't survive being shot, even with Lamartas. I actually miss Refusal to Die a little bit. I never thought I'd say that because I always complained about how rubbish a stratagem it was. But yeah, maybe it's something we could have really used. Alright, I need super glue for this one, I think. Whew. I was gonna say these 3D printed jump packs are actually no joke. They're like really decent looking and really well made. Like the size of them is damn near perfect. Look at that, this guy. Let me see if I can find an actual legit assault intercessor or a jump intercessor. Let me grab a regular assault intercessor, jump intercessor. Let's see for like side by side comparison. So here's an assault intercessor versus a jump one. I mean, the jump one's on that tiny little like I'm raised up dance in space. Pretty decent, right? I think when it's sprayed and painted, unless you're looking for it, you probably don't even know it's 3D printed. Maybe? I do like the new jump intercessors though. I had fun making these guys, honestly. I just haven't really felt I need to finish painting them because I don't really know how I'm fitting them in a list. Okay, excuse me. I'm gonna have to get off here shortly, I guess. I'm gonna fall asleep, man. What the hell? Get some coffee. I did get my coffee very early today, so maybe it's that. Man, I hate the mold lines on these ones. Jeez, oh. Sometimes it's hard to know how much you need to go in these mold lines without damaging the model. They're just relentless. I look forward to seeing when someone wins an event with the Firestorm detachment, because that's the one that I sort of earmarked as the one that I thought was the strongest. But when I was looking at win rates earlier today, it doesn't seem that the Firestorm's performing. There's no mold lines on 3D prints. I mean, I guess that's true. The 3D prints are getting really close to the real thing. Like it's getting hard to know. Once you spray that and paint it, I think you would really struggle to know if that was 3D printed, honestly. B13, B15, B12. B13. There's 13. It's 31. That must be 12 there. Yeah, that's 12. Okay. Vanguard Ultramarines came second in that World Tournament. Yeah, I did see a bit of that. it felt very, very harsh that he got penalised for the aggressor movement. If anyone doesn't know what happened, it was like Calgar and a squad of aggressors moved out of the building, and then they got 6-inch moved back into the building. And some of the spectators thought that because you got a 6-inch move and aggressors only move 5 inches, then they're actually capped at 5 inches, so you'd take a penalty. I don't know if I felt that was fair, but yeah, that's what happened. Yeah, I think that's the great thing about the Death Company and the Gladius detachment is that if they've got the chaplain attached, then they can just continue to get +1 to wound. So you don't have to spend CP heavily on the Death Company, which I really like. I guess my list doesn't have enough CP to be throwing CP around on units like Death Company. Not for the most part. You have to assume that that unit can do the damage with what's, you know, like, basically without stratagems. Yeah, I think he must have... The argument must be he moved the aggressor 6 inches with a strat that says you can make a 6-inch move, but because aggressors only have a 5-inch, I think the strat basically... Because the move would be counted as a normal move, the aggressor should have only moved 5 inches. So he moved 1 inch extra through some like really weird edge case. Plus, like, you can't really go back and measure. Like, you can't go back to the game. Even a stream game, you can't go back and measure it. So, like, maybe he moved like a model, but he might have moved them all 5. It might have been totally legit. It was just a bit of a nightmare situation, I guess. I don't know if I feel like he deserved to be penalised for that. People make little mistakes like that. If it says you can make a 6-inch move, you can make a 6-inch move. If some other rule somewhere else is pulling an inch off of it, technically that's right, but it's really harsh to get penalised for that, I feel like. So, yeah, like, I think it was a fuck up. I think he actually moved Calgar 6 inches and the rest of the unit moved 5, but because he vocalised that he was making a 6-inch move, then they thought that he had made a 6-inch move on the aggressors. But arguably, if the aggressors moved out of cover the previous turn, they would have only moved 5. So it would only have been 5 to put them back into the cover, Todd. So yeah, it's just like, in a friendly game, that's almost a non-issue. It should, like, in a friendly game, it's just like, okay, maybe those guys moved 1 inch too far, let me push them back 1 inch. Cool, no problem, let's get on with the game, right? Like, I'm pretty sure everybody at some point in 40k has moved a model 1 inch too far by accident. You know? Like, that has definitely happened to just about every single player. It should have been a non-issue. But good to know, because honestly, like, I didn't know that rule. I did not know that if you use squad tactics to move a unit, and the unit only moves 5 inches, then you can't use your 6-inch squad tactics movement. I know that's a different detachment, but it's the same principle, right? It's the same, like, squad tactics says if you're in the tactical doctrine, you can make a 6-inch move. So, I'm pretty sure... I was going to say, I'm probably 90% sure I've used a squad of aggressors in Tactical Doctrine, because I've been using not aggressors, Gravis, I've been using so many Gravis on my list. There's probably you go back on my channel, there's probably a game where I had Gravis Marines and I used squad tactics to move them 6 inches. And the wording is super confusing, and arguably the wording that you can't do it is not even on the strat that you're playing. So yeah, we can you know, it happened. It's drama. It's fine, I guess. All right, I'm gonna stick this guy's gun on, and then I'm gonna have to take off. I'm going to try and do the army show tomorrow night. I know we've not had an army show for like 2 or 3 weeks. That's my bad. I guess like I was so exhausted from that tournament last weekend. I normally sleep for like 6 hours a night. On the Friday night for that tournament, I went to bed at like 10:30 and I woke up at like 8 in the morning. So I slept like 9.5 hours. I never usually get more than like 7 hours sleep. I had a bit of a cold, a bit of a flu last week at the tournament as well. So I guess like being on my feet all day, being at the tournament, having to really use my brain, plus having a bit of a cold and just sort of like trying to power through and not like it was like the end of a cold. So it was like, you know, I had a bit of like phlegm and I was I don't feel like I didn't have any like headaches or anything like that. So it was like there's no excuse. Like the cold is not an like the cold was leaving me, I guess. So but, you know, like, I guess I was exhausted because I just powered through that whole day with the cold. I don't think the cold it didn't affect my gameplay. I'm not trying to say it was an excuse or anything. I'm just telling you why I didn't do the army show last Sunday night. So that's my reasoning. I'll most probably have an army list show tomorrow night. There's no reason that we shouldn't be on. I hate these models where you have to glue one arm to the other arm to the body. I've always hated these. Always hated these. This is the heavy bolter guy. Afternoon genius, how are you? You're actually just coming in at the end. I'm just finishing in the next couple of minutes. So I guess if you're just coming in right now, you want to rewind to the start if you want to enjoy the stream. But yeah, army list show back on the menu tomorrow night. Let's do it. And there has been a fair few armies submitted, so hopefully we can get like a Gladius list on there. We'll get a. Do you know what? I haven't seen that many Gladius lists. I wanna see some really. I want someone else to have gone to a tournament with a Gladius list and send it to me. So if you've been to a tournament with a Gladius list and you've done reasonably well, I guess something like what I did, 3 and 2, then I really want to see it. I want to see what other people are doing for Gladius, because that's what I was thinking. I was like, that's probably why I was having so many doubts about playing Gladius at tournament, especially with all the aggressors, because I was like, is anyone fucking doing this? Is it just me? Am I the only Blood Angels player that's doing this? On the plus side, no one really knows how to play against it though, right? Right, so this bit, if I cut off the wrong bit. I'm not loving this heavy bolter thing, whatever it's called. Power pack. Where's it supposed to stick? That? I don't know. I'm just going to throw glue on it and see what happens. You really hate the tiny connection points on the backpack? Yeah, exactly. I don't really know where it's supposed to connect to, so... The picture just shows it. Yeah, okay. I guess I kind of know where it's supposed to connect to. This heavy bolter is fiddly as all hell, though, isn't it? Yeah. Oh, I think I got it, but wow, that was fiddly. So my finger is glued to it now, so it's not going to come away, of course. Oh well, only one heavy bolter in the squad, fortunately. Stop sticking to my finger! There. That was not clean. Cool. I'm going to let that dry before I touch it, because that was a disaster. This stuff's good. Everybody flames the Contact Revolute Professional. Honestly, it's good glue. It's user error. It's not the problem. The glue isn't the problem. I'm the problem, Rez. Generally, I'm the problem. But yeah, so Armyless show tomorrow night. We'll be back. Hopefully we'll get a Gladius list in there. Hopefully we'll get like a Firestorm and a Iron Spear list on there as well. Guys, have a good afternoon. Thank you for tuning in. If you didn't watch yesterday's video about the GT, I'd love it if you would watch it. Leave a like. Hell, watch it again and get me and leave a like on it again if you can, or leave me a comment. Right, I better tidy up. I better go see what my family's doing. Enjoy your afternoon, guys. Thanks so much for watching. Catch you all soon. Peace.